That's a good book. That's the original right there, baby. All the fairy tales we know, nothing like the original. Grimm's Brothers rock! You can see, I'm going to try my phone to record my computer. I don't know if you've seen any of the other posts. It glitches out, and I want to see if the ghosts appear in this one too. I got ghosts in my closet. Because really, my basement is about the size of a closet. And the light on my phone is extremely bright. That's why I'm wearing my darkened shades rather than my my really pimp safety glasses that I seem to can't live without. $10 at Home Depot. Rock. So anyways, earlier, I think yesterday, I read a letter to my kids, something I wrote years back, right before I had my heart deal, heart surgery, coarctation, put a stent in there, something I was born with, not because I'm eat tons of cholesterol, but there's a good chance I might not make it, you know. Anytime you go under the knife, it's scary, so I started writing to my kids as if I wasn't going to be around to raise them, because they're young. And then I came across some of my other stuff, and I thought I'd read something. This is more dark. This doesn't have anything to do with my kids. This is when I was in a really deep place. I don't know why per se. This was August of 2014. So this was probably right after I got fired from my job. And that's the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life, is not being employed. Worse than any detox, worse than any addiction, worse than anything, because it kills your self-esteem, your confidence. You feel like you're letting your family down, and you start to hide from everyone. And me, anyways, I did. That's when I really started coming to the basement a lot, spending a lot of time down here. Was after I got fired from my job. I got fired because of symptoms of ADHD. Not hating authority figures, or, you know, I told my boss to go fuck himself because he wanted to suspend me for being 2 minutes late. And then the 2 minutes late is because of trying to be on time. So I lost my job because of some of my symptoms of ADHD. So, and it's funny because I was sober when I got fired, but 6 years prior I had been using opiates, and when I'm using, then I would be normal. I never missed a day of work. First year, never missed a day of work. And because I was on opiates, my dopamines were at an average level, like normal people. So going to work was fine. But as soon as I got sober, man, life got really, really difficult. And not because of the addiction and then going to and being sober, but it was the first time in my life being an adult and having serious responsibilities, like my kids and keeping a job and putting food on the table, that I noticed just how hard it was to live with ADHD. And then I figured out, aha, something's going on here. So it was kind of a turning point for me. Okay, so anyways, got fired, and this letter is kind of one of my darker places. Like I've said before, I try to write a lot, and if I don't feel good enough, that's why I'm glad I finally started talking to a camera, is because if I don't have the energy to write, at least I can talk. So, all right, this was August of 2014 at 10 in the morning, and I'm not sure. I've realized that my disconnection from loved ones, my inability to love the moment and be at peace, my hardened exterior will make you think I'm cold and heartless, when in reality that so-called hardened exterior is nothing more than shame. All the while I tell myself it's everyone else. I'm misunderstood. Fuck all you. I will live my life my way. No more than empty lies, I tell myself. And I believed them for the longest time. I've done things that I'm not proud of, and I'm starting to realize the path to finding myself, loving myself so I can love my family, is through letting myself be fallible, by admitting my mistakes and taking the steps towards my goals in life 1 inch at a time. And it was like this epiphany. I just like closed myself off from everybody, and I was angry at everyone, and I assumed everybody was judging me, and everybody was pointing their finger, and everybody was talking behind my back because I'd lost my job and I wasn't living up and I wasn't being a man. And then one day it just dawned on me, man, it was shame. People treat others as they see themselves. So I was being just a dick to everyone. I didn't want to socialize. I didn't want to be around anyone because I felt that way about myself. And here's another one. I don't know, no date or anything. My home should be where I am most comfortable. Unfortunately, nothing's further from the truth. When I wake, my first thought is another day of hell. Why get up? What's the point? I know I have the kids and a wife that is barely hanging on to me. Why isn't this enough to make me change, to find the good in life? Rather, I see bright, energetic eyes that will end up being emotionally scarred for life because of my inability to live a fulfilling life. They will see my pain and negativity, and it will affect them. Looking around the room, it becomes hard to breathe. I can't escape the overwhelming feeling of a repetitious life, of picking up clutter rather than picking up my family. My skin crawls from the inside out, and I shiver, wanting to rip my clothes off and run away. And I remember when I wrote that because that's exactly how I felt. I can't describe it. It's like I started suffocating down here because I resorted to the basement after I lost my job. And we had savings for a while, so first 4 or 5 months was awesome. But then stuff got real, and I just couldn't deal with it. So I started, and it was crazy because it's a big open basement, but the worse I felt about myself, the more I started to close part of the basement off. I took these large bookshelves, like you can see these bookshelves here. Well, I got another set that's over there, and I basically cut the basement in half and I closed myself in this way further and further until there was only a gap that big to get in and out to the rest of the basement. And this is the theories, being philosophical, but it was really interesting to look back and see the deeper I went with my shame and low self-esteem and guilt, the tighter I made my confinement down here. Blocked off the window. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And then once the business started, it was summertime and I was working, I would start to open it up. I started hanging out upstairs more. Took the PS4 and all the gaming stuff upstairs. So there was a direct correlation between how I felt about myself and my physical environment, what I was doing. It was trippy, man. But anyways, I thought I'd just post those really quick and say, beat addiction. That was nothing compared to being jobless and being a man with a family of 5 trying to take care of them. That's 10 times harder than walking away from opiates for me personally. So hope that was helpful, and I'm gonna see how the quality is on my phone compared to my computer. So peace out. Go love yourself.